Science 10, Lesson 7, Ionic Compounds, Part 3, Naming. If the cation is an element that only has a single charge option, the naming is easy. I look up Ba on the periodic table, it takes a +2 charge, and it's called barium ion. Then I look up Cl on the negative list, and I find Cl-, which is called chloride. So when they come together, they make barium chloride. Cations that take a number of different charges can be tricky. I have CO on the front. I look it up on the periodic table. But is that CO with a +2 or with a +3? And the name is going to be cobalt with some Roman numeral, ion. And we're not sure of what that Roman numeral will be yet. If I look at the back end, I have SO4. If I look that up on the negative list, I see that SO4 takes a -2 charge, and it's called sulfate. I see that I have 3 sulfates. So that means I have 3 -2 charges. And 3 -2 charges add up to a total of -6 on the back end. And we know that the charge on the back end has to equal the charge on the front end. So the charge on the front must be +6. Now, being that there are 2 cobalts there, that +6 charge has to be shared between them. So 6 shared between 2 cobalts is a +3 each, which means I have cobalt 3 ion on the front, and when it comes together with sulfate, it makes cobalt 3 sulfate. Now keep that in mind. If I don't know what the front end charge is, I will have to first determine the back end charge. Example 1, KCl. I look up K on the periodic table, it takes a +1 charge, and it's called potassium ion. I look up Cl on the negative ions list, it has a -1 charge, and it's called chloride. So KCl is called potassium chloride. Example 2, WF3. I look up W on the periodic table. That's tungsten, and it takes a number of different charges. So I'm not sure which Roman numeral I will need. I see I have F on the back, and it takes a -1 charge, and it's called fluoride. Since I have 3 F's and each has a -1 charge, that means my back end charge equals -3. So that means my front end charge must equal +3. So that means in this case, tungsten is taking a +3 charge. The Roman numeral I need is 3, and the name of WF3 is then tungsten 3 fluoride. Example 3, I start by looking up Fe. It takes a +2 or a +3 charge, and I'm not exactly sure what it's taking this time. So that means I'm not sure which Roman numeral I will need in the name. Well, not yet anyway. So I look up CO3, and I see it takes a -2 charge, and it's called carbonate. When I look at the formula, I see I have 3 carbonates. Each one has a -2 charge. So -2 charge multiplied by the fact there are 3 present gives me a total back end charge of -6. And if I have a -6 charge on the back end, I have to have a +6 charge on the front end. Now there are 2 irons present, so that +6 is being shared between 2 irons, which means they get a +3 each. So I have iron 3 ion on the front, carbonate on the back. When it comes together, it's called iron 3 carbonate. Example 4, ZnSO4. I start by looking up Zn on my periodic table. I see it's zinc, it takes a +2 charge, and we call it zinc ion. I have SO4 on the back end. I look that up on the periodic table. I see it takes a -2 charge, and it's called sulfate. So when it comes together, we call it zinc sulfate. Example 5, I start by looking up aluminum, and I see it takes a +3 charge. An Al3+ is called aluminum ion. I then look up C2O4 on my negative ions list and see it takes a -2 charge, and it's called oxalate. And when it comes together, it forms aluminum oxalate. Example 6, I start by looking up Pb, and I see it can take a +2 or a +4 charge, so I'm not sure what it is taking this time. So that means I don't know which Roman numeral I need in the name. I look up PO4 and see that it takes a -3 charge, and it's called phosphate. Now I have 4 phosphates, each with a -3 charge. So 4 phosphates, each with a -3 charge, gives me a total of -12 on the back end. And if I have a -12 on the back end, I got to have a +12 on the front end. Being that there are 3 PBs, that +12 has to be split evenly 3 ways. So how many times does 3 go into 12? 4 times. So Pb is taking the +4. So it's lead-4 ion. And when lead-4 ion and phosphate come together, it's called lead-4 phosphate. And that's the end of the lesson. You're good to move on to the assignment.